So you need
Yes, sir.
in order, if you're going to raise $500,000 in the next 6 months, what you need to do. So you need a team.
Yes, sir.
And you need a list, and you need a plan. It's all basic stuff, nothing complicated about it. But the old adage is you plan your work and work your plan.
Yes, sir.
And so you've got to get a finance chairman, someone that's excited. It might be your friend here, somebody that's excited about you, that is used to dealing with money.
Yes, sir.
Or sales.
Yes,
So it's
sir.
a real estate guy, it's a banker, it's a deal maker, it's somebody that's used to dealing with money. So he's your finance chairman. You've got to get a committee. You can't do it by yourself, is the point. It takes a team to do anything great.
Yes, sir.
So you got to build that team. And then you're the star. You're the one that the donors want to talk to. So you're going to do 90% of the ask. They can do some of the groundwork, but you're going to make the calls and make the ask.
Yes, sir.
So here you do 4 things, and you'll raise the money.
Yes, sir.
So if you make a list of 100 people, and you have to do some things. You start with 25, and then 50, and then 100. You make a list of 100 people that can say yes to 3 things. They smile when they hear your name. They care about the country. They're not just, oblivious. They have some passion about the country. And as best as you know, you haven't seen their checkbook or their financial statement, they can write a check for $1,000 if they want to.
Yes, sir.
They smile when they hear your name. They care about the country, and they write a check for $1,000 if they want to. So you then make the list. You make the calls, you make the appeals, you will pick up the check. Here's the key, when you make the appeal, so you get this list, you got to make the list first, you got to build it out. There's a power in self-confidence that comes from having the list. When you, not in your head, when you write it down, it's energizing to you to say, wow, I do know 50 people that know me, that like me, that care about the country, that could write, wow, I got it to 112, how did I do that? It's very, you cannot keep it here, it's got to be written down.
Yes, sir.
Then when you call the folks, you make remember, 20 seconds, 2 minutes, and 20 minutes. 20 seconds, 2 minutes, and 20 minutes. And so what does that mean? That means when you call, you say, hey, Brant, this is RG. Initials?
YG.
YG.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
Brant, this is YG. Have you got a minute to help? Let me tell you my plan for saving America.
That's good.
Just 20 seconds. You don't start talking to me for 5 or 6 minutes. I may love you, but I might have my client here, my wife here, family. But everybody's got 20 seconds.
Yes, sir.
Trump's got 20 seconds. Hi, Mr. President. This is Brant Frost. I've got a Trump Jr. down here that wants to win the Senate race. Have you got a couple minutes to hear about it? No, Brant, I don't, but I can talk to you tomorrow morning. So 20 seconds. You call call the list, and you give them your 20-second appeal. And it's got to have a hook in it. In other words, when you call them, hi, this is RG. But what's the hook? It's just how you doing? You got a minute to talk? No, it's hey Brant, have you got 2 minutes to hear how I plan? I'm going to win this seat and help check. And you might even say, I'm going to rock Republican circles by putting a dark face on a bright message. Because you have as you know, you've heard this many times. There's something about the dark. Brown can say things I can't say.
That's right.
And you'll get through.
It is true.
And so when I hear that, I go, you know what, man, I don't have 2 minutes now, but I do in about 2 hours,
Yes,
so
sir.
20 seconds. Then they say, sure, go ahead. Then in 2 minutes, you've got to tell them why you're running, how you can win, whatever your story is. In my world, we raise money for businesses. I do this exact same thing for raising money for new companies.
Wow.
So you tell them in 2 minutes basically the gist of your story.
Yes, sir.
And you say, black conservatives can say things that white guys can't say. I've got a message that can electrify the country. We need to save babies, which are decimating the black and white community, and we need to have election integrity, and I'm the voice that can say it. And then you might give a couple data points about why your campaign is compelling, because donors are investors. They want return on their capital. They're stewards.
Yes, sir.
They're managers. If they're believers, God has given me a few dollars, and I'm supposed to be a good steward. Multiply them, right?
Yes, sir.
And so I can't just give them away for every Tom, Dick, and Harry idea. It's got to be wise. So you have to give me some data points to make me feel like it's wise to invest in you.
Wow.
And it's in that 2 minutes that you do that.
Yes,
and
sir.
then I say, so here's the key. As you're kind of zeroing in, there's 3 things you got to remember. You have to ask me, what you're calling me for is a donation.
Yes, sir.
And this is how you make the ask. you ask for a specific amount of money.
Yes, sir.
Well, there's four things for a specific project.
Yes, sir.
That accomplishes a specific benefit.
Yes, sir.
By a specific deadline.
Yes,
So,
sir.
Brant, we're doing Facebook. We're going to run a Facebook a name ID in the 7th district, and we're going to tenfold my name ID over the next 2 weeks with $20,000 of Facebook ads.
This is
and
brilliant.
then we're going to come behind it another week later, and I'm going to poll those same people. And guess what it's going to show? It's going to show I have the #1 ID in the district, and then we're going to do a press release showing I'm #1 in the district, and then we're going to have a fundraiser, and then I can go to some national people and I say I'm #1 in the 7th district. Come and do my Facebook, and they will.
Wow.
And so you're calling me and you're saying, so Brant, and so this is my 2 minutes. Now you're coming into your close.
Yes, sir.
And you're saying,
Yes,
I
sir.
need $20,000 to do saturation Facebook name ID in the next 2 weeks. That's going to drive my name up to #1. And then I'm going to do a poll behind it, which will show me in first place. And then I'll do fundraising, which will keep me in first place. And so I'm looking for 20 guys that can help me with $1,000 a piece, or 4 guys with $5,000 a piece, or something in between. And I was calling you, Brant, to see if you'd be one of those 20 guys.
Wow.
And then you shut up. Then you don't say a word. Even if it takes 3 minutes of silence, don't say another word. The next
It
guy
works,
to speak,
I've been on the other end.
next guy to speak, the next guy to speak loses. And so I'm going to say 3 things to you.
Yes, sir.
No, or maybe. So whatever I say, you say great. Because I've given you some time, I've listened to you. You want to be, when people think of you, you want them saying thumbs up. So you think about Jesus, Moses, Mother Teresa, Hitler, Gandhi, Mao, Stalin, Ronald Reagan, George Washington, Martin Luther King. Real quickly in your mind, you go bump, 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 and your mind quickly thinks thumbs up. You want people to think thumbs up.
Yes,
when they
sir.
think of your name, thumbs up.
Yes,
and
sir.
because gee, I appreciate you calling, but I'm broke, I ain't got any money, I'm already with this candidate, I can't help you. And you still say, great, it's okay, Brant, I appreciate your time.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate what you're doing for the state. Just thank you for taking my call, and thank you for what you're doing. So even though I didn't give you any money, and I did help you, I think, hey, good guy. So you want to leave that thumbs up impression on people.
Yes, sir.
That's your 2 minutes. Now, the guy that's interested and doesn't say no is going to come back, and this is where the 20
Here
minutes
come the
come
20.
in.
Here
And
come
what
the
did I
20.
just say? How you going to? Why are you running?
Yes, sir.
What's your issues?
Uh-huh.
How you going to raise the money?
Uh-huh.
That's where the 20-minute comes. And so you can start giving them that 20 minutes. And here's what I'm just telling you. I've raised $10, $15 million this way. If you make the list and make the calls and make the appeal,
Yes, sir.
you will pick up the check. And if you don't, God's anointing is not on it. And here's what we know about as believers. God never calls you to He never gives you a vision without giving you the provision. And so if He calls you to do this, He will provision you to do this, and people will say yes. So, that, my friend, is how you raise $500,000 in the next 6 months.
Sir.